Right, before we go for a drive in the Cactus, let's go over some of the standard features on this entry-level Touch. So, some of the features you get on the Touch is anti-lock brakes with electronic brake force distribution and emergency braking assistance. You get stability control. You get cruise control with a speed limiter. You get driver, front passenger, front lateral and curtain airbags. You've got unfastened seatbelt warning on all seats, and you'll find that just up above the driver interior mirror. You get 2 rear ISOFIX mounting points in the rear. You get remote central locking with deadlocks. You get black air bump, height adjustable halogen headlights, LED daytime running lights. You get 15-inch clip wheel covers on the PureTex 75 version. You get a grey mica cloth interior trim. You get front electric windows, electric mirrors, 7-inch touchscreen, a gear efficiency indicator, steering wheel controls, DAB radio with 4 speakers and an aux socket. So it's not too bad a spec for an entry-level version. Things you are missing are air conditioning and Bluetooth compatibility for your phone. But like me, I don't tend to use my phone when I'm driving. I'll just put it in the glove box or it's in my pocket. If somebody phones me, I'll answer it later. But if you are wanting Bluetooth compatibility, then you're probably looking for the next spec up, which is the Feel edition. There's 3 trim levels standard. You've got the Touch, the Feel and the Flare. Let's take this Cactus for a drive. So when you start the engine on the Cactus, I don't know, it just sounds like a 2CV. It's just that little thrum. It's like a sewing machine. So let's take it for a drive. Now this is my usual test route, so I've got to take it off this plinth here. So you get that sort of little 3-cylinder thrum. And I'm quite a fan of 3-cylinder engines. I think that power less is more ethos comes alive with 3-cylinder engines. And it is just like a little sewing machine when you hear the thrum. And again, you've got to work this little engine hard. Get anywhere really. The camera is probably going to be a bit jumpy with this mount. Now, one thing I do find with a Cactus is a little incline can unsettle it. Even in second gear, doing 10 miles an hour, it does seem to unsettle it. So if you are looking for a bit more power, then I would suggest the turbocharged petrol or the HDI diesel engine if you just want a little bit more power, because because it does struggle on the hill, no matter the inclines. Another thing I'm not a fan of is the clutch. I don't know if it's a characteristic of the car or of a French car, but I find the clutch seems to drag when you try to pull away. It's got quite a high biting point. And I've never had a clutch like that in 20 years of driving. But it all depends. I find it depends on what shoes you're wearing as well. If I'm wearing trainers, I tend to notice it more. If I'm wearing like what I'm wearing now is a set of steel toe cap boots, you don't tend to notice it. On the move, once you get up to speed, the car handles well, and yeah, it's just, it may take 12.9 seconds to get 0 to 60, but if you're working it through the gears, it is a little hoot to drive. So let's carry out a 0 to 60 speed test. We'll do a couple of these and we'll see what we get. First gear and go. Now what I'll do is I'll put the times up once I edit the video. So let's go for a second test. Okay, it's time for run 2. And we're going to go now. Foot to the floor. Third gear. 60. Okay, what we'll do now is we'll carry out a couple of emergency stops. Okay, let's do a couple of emergency stops. So, I'm going to take the car up to 30 miles an hour. I'm going to carry an emergency stop. See how quickly the Cactus stops. On this edition of Cactus, it's just discs at front, drums at the rear. So Let's see how quickly this car stops. So it's driving along nice and calmly. Get up to 30 miles an hour, get into third gear. Stop one complete. Felt as if the nose just wanted to dig into the ground. But we'll go for another one at the moment. Go for another one. But it's reassuringly stops really, really well for 30 miles an hour. Got a Jag coming up here. Sounds nice. And again, we'll just do the same as before. We'll do a 30 mile an hour, up to 30 mile an hour and stop. And we're pulling off. This is just to sort of simulate if a kid was to just walk out onto the road. And that is a stop. Right, let's carry on. So, summing up on the drive of the Cactus, it's a nice car to drive. In this version you have to work hard to get the most out of it. The seats are comfy. I've driven down to the Lake District, I've driven down to Yorkshire in this car, driven for 3 hours non-stop, and I feel, you get out of this car and you feel totally refreshed. Steering is so light, and that's really handy around the town as well, for parking, for getting about. It can feel, I don't know, maybe if you're pushing on a bit, it does sort of feel a bit vague, but I do quite enjoy driving this little car. So I'm just going to pull up a wee bit more, and I'll sum up what I think of the Cactus. That's just me just doing that with palming my hand on the steering wheel. So let's sum up the Citroen C4 Cactus. Is this a car you'd consider buying? Well, it's a bit of a Marmite car. You either like it or you don't. Because of the air bumps, maybe it puts people off, and some people like it. I mean, I know Citroen enthusiasts or loyal Citroen owners would probably buy this car. I'd considered a Cactus a couple of years ago, and to replace our family car. But in the end, it replaced my 75 and became my daily, and I bought this one. I like it because it's a quirky car, but if you're not so much after the quirks, then you maybe want to consider the 2017 onwards edition, where the air bumps sort of move down to the bottom of the doors. But if you like quirky cars, then this is a car for you. If it was me personally, I'd maybe go up a spec if you want more toys, if you're looking for air conditioning, Bluetooth compatibility, even the roof rails. On higher spec Cactuses, you get roof rails. So if you're a leisure sort of seeker and you carry bikes around, then maybe the Feel or the Flare edition would suit you. You can also get, there's a couple of special editions as well. There's a W and a Rip Curl as well. And if you're into like your Rip Curl, then you know what that's all about. It's a fun car to drive. In this spec, being the 1.282 horsepower engine, it's fun to drive if you work it hard. It's also a car that actually sits nice and comfortable on a motorway. You wouldn't know that you're driving a 1.2. I think I alluded to that in a DS4 video as well. It's very, very quiet on the move. But I like this car. I'm glad I've bought this car. But is it the car for you? If you're, as I said, if you're into your quirkiness and you like Citroens, then yeah, it's for you. If you're not keen on the styling or the sort of minimalistic feel, then it's maybe not for you. There is other cars that would probably do that for you. Probably things like the, I don't know, maybe like the Kia Niro or the Volkswagen T-Roc or the Vauxhall Mocha, for example. That might be more suited. But I'd just like to thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe at Scottish Car Enthusiasts and Trains TV, and I'll catch you in another review sometime soon. But for a moment, please like, subscribe, click the bell, share the video, and I'll catch you soon.